Hey, what's up guys? So this video is all about the Scytalis fight in Act and Epilogue. So in under a minute I'm gonna jog your memory through everything you need to know before taking down Scytalis, and then we're gonna jump into the fight and kind of talk through it. So the Scytalis fight revolves around her traps. Make sure to pay attention to the special icon under her power bar. It can either be 1 or 2. That's the special you need to bait, and it changes based on the phase she's in. So as you can see here, she has 4 different phases based on her health bar, and in each phase you have to bait the appropriate special attack. Now on doing this, she places a trap on the ground and it gets activated in some time. So as you can see here, the trap activation time varies based on her phase, and with every successive phase the amount of time it takes to activate the trap increases. So your focus should be to push her into the trap with a heavy or special once it's activated. This removes her corrupted armor and gives you a damage window. So this is the basic approach you need when you fight her. Also keep in mind that in the final phase she can 100% evade your heavy attacks, so the only way for you to push her into a trap to activate the armor corruption is through a special attack. So that's pretty much all you need to know before jumping into the Scytalis fight. Now let's jump into the gameplay. Now if you're watching this video without ever fighting Scytalis in the past, then what I said probably didn't make much sense to you. But I'm going to repeat the same thing pretty much as we go through the gameplay, so it's going to make things a lot more easier. So I'm going to use my Jean Grey, and in phase 1, which is 100% to 80% health, our goal is to push her into 1 bar of power and then successfully bait it. Now when it comes to baiting her special ones, we just need to keep in mind that the last hit of the special one is a projectile and we have to successfully dex it. If not, we are going to be inflicted with the sabotage and it's going to deal us some damage. So right here she's throwing her special one, we are just swiping back and then successfully dexed that final projectile. You can see the trap was set, and then we used the heavy to push her into the trap. Now in phase 1, after the trap is set, we have to wait for about 1.5 seconds for the trap to be active, and then we have to either use a heavy or a special to push her into the trap. So this phase is easy because the activation period is just 1.5 seconds. As we go through her further phases, it gets getting more and more annoying. You might have noticed the 2 prowess below our health bar. So for each time we pushed her into the trap with a heavy or a special, we removed her corruption armor, and each time the corruption armor disappeared, we gained a prowess each. And as you can see, with 2 times removal of the corruption armor, we already pushed her past phase 1, and she entered phase 2, which is 80% to 41% health. And in this phase we have to push her to this special 2 as indicated by the icon under her power bar. Now this is a bit more challenging because for starters, the trap activation window is about 3.5 seconds, and for second she favors using her special one, so we have to actively push her to the special 2. Now in order to do this, you can either use the reparry method or the 4-hit combo and block to bait her into a heavy, or you can actually also use a 5-hit combo ending with a medium, which makes her evade, and it also gives her a power gain. So you can use a variety of ways to push her to 2 bars of power, and once you do it, you have to dex it successfully. Now when it comes to dexing the special 2s, as you can see there, you have to dex successfully the first hit, and then you can swipe back and relax. And then once the trap is set, you have to wait for about 3.5 seconds for it to be activated, and then push her into the trap with a heavy or a special. So I did a heavy here, and then the corruption armor is removed and the damage window starts, and you can start dealing the damage. And I used the special 2, and look at that damage from Jean Grey. Now again, as you can see, she moved to phase 3. The phase 3 is 40% to 6% health. Now we switch back to baiting out special ones. The only difference is that the trap activation window is even longer, it's about 5.5 seconds. Outside of that, it's the same old story. So as you can see, the trap is set after baiting special 1, but we have to wait quite a bit more compared to phase 1 to let it activate. And as you can see, I used a special to push her into the trap and remove the corruption armor, and I gained another prowess in the process and start dealing damage. Now we are going to repeat this. So this is another special one we are baiting, and I failed to dex the projectile there, but it's no big deal, and I took a combo to phase again. Again, it's not a big deal, the trap is activated, so I'm going to use a special to push her into the trap, gained another prowess, and start dealing damage. Now with the corruptive armor removed and having 6 prowess on Jean Grey, that special 2 pushed Scytalis into her final phase, which is her last 5% health. I would say this is her most annoying phase for several reasons. For starters, you are back to pushing her into special 2s. Another reason is that now your heavy attacks are going to be 100% evaded, so you have to use your special attacks to push her into the trap to remove the corruptive armor. And the activation window after you set the trap is increased to 7.5 seconds in this phase. Also, once you push her into the trap, you are not going to completely remove the corruptive armor. Instead, for each prowess on you, the armor potency is going to be reduced by 10%. So on the one side, it's going to be a little bit more trickier to push her into the trap and remove the corruptive armor, and the damage from removing the corruptive armor is only going to scale based on how many times you push her into the trap. On top of that, you also have to deal with the spacing so that you are not backed against the corner like I'm here. With the NX Honorable, it's going to be a little bit more complicated, but what I would recommend you to do is to make sure you always have a special in bag once she set the trap. So as you can see here, I'm backed against the wall. I'm baiting her special attack and let her set the trap, and make sure I'm behind the trap by the time before it gets activated. Even though I'm backed against the corner, I'm very close to a special attack, so one hit and once the trap got activated, I jumped into using that special so that the corruptive armor was removed. Now I'm going to do the same thing here and hope that the spacing is not going to mess me up. So I pushed her into an SP2, baited it, and again there's about 7.5 seconds before the trap gets activated, so I'm going to make sure I'm staying behind the trap and have a special in bank so that I can throw it right when the trap gets active. In this case, it worked out perfectly for me, and I realized this final attack window is all I need to finish her, and she is down. Now it's very important that once the trap is active, you don't jump into it instead of her, because one mistake is all it's going to take for her to kill you. And that's it for this video, guys. With the Act 10 epilogue coming out, I just wanted to make a quick video to jog your memory through the Scytalis fight. And let's, by the way, collect all that ISOs. And for anyone who's never fought Scytalis before, it's actually quite a fun fight. It's one of my favorite fights, and once you get used to her mechanics, I think you'll have fun with it. Now, talking about counters, pretty much use any mutant out there. I went with Jean Grey because she's an amazing attacker, and her force field gives you that extra buffer in case if you mess up, and she can deal with the block damage that way. You could use Onslaught, you could use Jean Grey. In fact, you could use any mutant out there with Prowess, Dust, Bishop, Storm Pyramidex, Toad. You know, all those options are extremely effective in this fight. Now that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you find it helpful, and if you did, please let YouTube know by upvoting it. I am actually curious to know who you used in your fight against Scytalis, so do let me know in the comment section. Actually, let me know if you have any kind of feedbacks in the comment section. I look forward to hearing from you. I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye.